Called Jami-Lee Ross, 5 minutes.
Mr Speaker, there's a bit of a theme developing right now on the opposition benches. The theme from the Labour Party seems to be the National Party is so mean, they won't let the Labour Party pull out the credit card to spend up large. That's effectively what the Labour Party is saying. Mr Speaker, we have to be clear when we talk about paid parental leave that there's one party sitting in the House right now that is extending paid parental leave. That is the National Party. Now, I don't know whether the Labour Party was listening during the budget last year, but the National Party has announced and has enacted changes to extend paid parental leave in New Zealand. Mr Speaker, the National-led government has implemented a package worth $500 million to support families. Included in that package are 2 extensions of paid parental leave, which will eventually take paid parental leave out to 18 weeks. I've heard the Labour Party today say that extending paid parental leave to 26 weeks is affordable. I'm sure they'd also try and find an argument that extending it to 52 weeks would be affordable, and then they'll go to 2 and 3 and 4 years. Mr Speaker, the problem with the Labour Party, and we found this during the election, is they think everything is affordable. Mr Speaker, during the last election, the spending promises from that side of the House amounted to $30 billion. They think everything is affordable. This side of the House instead does things in a measured way. We support families, we support New Zealanders, but we have to recognise that every time government spends money to support New Zealanders, it also comes out of the pockets of New Zealanders. And Mr Speaker, I think the last thing that New Zealanders would want would be for any government to put New Zealanders into more debt, which the other side wanted to do, to have to raise taxes, which the other side wanted to do, when there is a more affordable and measured way to do it. Mr Speaker, we are supporting families. Mr Speaker, families in New Zealand are getting paid parental leave extensions. As part of our $500 million package as well, families in New Zealand are going to have the ability to send their children to the doctors free up to the age of 13. Mr Speaker, families in New Zealand, because of the National Party's changes that we have enacted, will see parental tax credits extended. Mr Speaker, families in New Zealand, because of the changes the National Party-led government has enacted, are seeing more funding going into early childhood education, more funding into welfare changes to support families in this country. Mr Speaker, we have the track record to do it. I feel a little sorry for Sue Moroney. I feel she's been hung out to dry by her party. The Labour Party has found in the last election that their promise is unaffordable, that their promise is not one that the Labour Party was able to sell to New Zealanders, and she's been left to hold out this bill, which actually says nothing at the moment. It has a title, it has a commencement, and it has a clause which outlines the principal act that she wished to change, but it has nothing out in it. If she had some honour, she would have asked the Business Committee to drop the bill, but she was hung out to dry by her party. Mr Speaker, we are extending paid parental leave. We are enacting changes for New Zealanders.
A point of order, Sue Moroney.
Ended by that misrepresentation by that member, and I would like him to withdraw and apologise, Mr Speaker.
Well, I'm not quite sure what the point of contention is. There's been quite a robust exchange across the benches. What specifically are you objecting to?
So, speaking to that point of order, I'm objecting to the member saying that I was hung out to dry by my party, when in fact it was his party that filibustered the bill and caused that.
No, that's not a point of order. Jami-Lee Ross. Is this a new point of order?
It is a new point of order.
Tracy Martin.
Mr Speaker, can I seek your clarification? During Mr Ross's last contribution, he said that if Ms Moroney had any honour, she would have asked for the bill to be withdrawn. Is that parliamentary language then?
That is certainly parliamentary language. Jami-Lee Ross.
Sometimes the truth is hard to believe. Mr Speaker, I was interrupted in my flow, but I was outlining the fact that the National Party has been supporting families. Mr Speaker, when members on this side of the House go out and knock on doors, stand on the main streets of their cities and talk to New Zealanders about what they want They want a country which is affordable for their children to live in. They want a country that supports their children in their time of need but doesn't tax them and rack up debt to pay for it. They want a government that lives within its means. They want a government that provides proper housing for New Zealanders. We are doing that. They want a government that provides good quality education services for their families. We are doing that. They want a country that provides health services for their families. We are doing that. Mr. Speaker, families in New Zealand are far better off because of the changes implemented in the past 6 years. The Labour Party may wish to go out and say the National Party is not doing enough for families, but our track record speaks for itself. We are extending paid parental leave. We're doing so in a measured way. That is what this country deserves and asked for. They passed their judgment in September last year.
I call Jan Logie.